Hey guys, what's up? It's Kade, and I've been playing the batchat recently. Not in pub matches, but in raiding battles. Simply because raiding battles don't affect your stats, and the batchat is, as most people would refer to it, an extremely underpowered tank. In this meta, with the Sheridan and heavies being buffed to have 400, 500 more HP per tank, the batchat is seemingly extremely underperforming. But regardless of that, it still can be a very, very, very fun tank to play. And in this video, we're going to talk about it. Our first replay is on Desert Sands, looking like a match where we can head towards the A cap. They only have one medium, and since we have two, or at least a batchat and a medium, we should be able to take on their low tier M46 Patton quite easily, and then keep on pushing to hopefully finish off the fight in the city. Now, if they do end up playing aggressively on the dunes and don't go to C or B cap, me and my batchat, I can run away very easily and simply escape. Now, our 255 is going to go towards the C cap. We try to get him to help us, and he does turn at the last second. So we do have two tanks over here, and we're going to have the advantage on this side of the map. I drive aggressively so that I can get an early spot off to see if the M46 ran away. None of the trees are knocked over. So there is a chance that he's still hiding in the dunes somewhere. But since the majority of the team is already spotted at the sea base, we can push right up here and look for any tank destroyers that they have sitting up on the ridgeline or into the back of any tanks that are further over there. We spot the Patton, we're going to go around the corner, shoot him once, and we're going to fully clip out into him as he's AFK. We spot the 57 heavy. Luckily, before he gets the shot into us, we're able to pull around the corner. The M46 does come back, so it stops us from being able to circle around the building to avoid the 57 heavy and continue clipping out the M46. We're going to finish off the waffle. We thought about running away there for a second, but now that the waffle is dead and the Patton is dead, now we can head back and fight the T57 heavy in a 2v1. The T55 is likely going to die soon. However, the Foch has arrived, and now it's a 3v1. This is a very, very easy situation. All we need to do is avoid the 57's gun and hope that he focuses on shooting other, slower, and easier targets. He does load heat to shoot the Foch, which is quite interesting. We spot the Yag, so we're going to try and get around the corner. He does fire, killing the Foch, and so we do know that he is on about a 15-second reload. So we're going to try and finish off the 57 heavy. The Yag pulls back. We're going to put one in. We get a high roll, but sadly not enough to finish him off. The Jagdpanzer kills the T55 and then turns around, so we're going to get one shot into his rear as he runs away. And we've already reached 3k damage with 3 enemies still alive on their team. The 75 at the last minute was spotted heading towards us. And so we're going to wait here to see if he does pressure, because if he does, we don't want to get caught out in between the Yag and the 75 looking. He hasn't approached yet, so we're going to drive forward. We don't spot him, which means that he has, in fact, turned around. And we're going to start by clipping out the Yag. E75 has too much HP, but the Yag we can almost finish off, and hopefully the 268 or our Waffle can finish him off. Both tanks miss or bounce, which really is not a good result for that. Luckily, we're going to reload in 2 seconds, and we're going to be able to kill the Yag. Our 268 friend pushes around, and now we're in a 1v1 with the 75. This is a very comfortable situation. We can quite simply just out-traverse him for the majority of the fight. We do run into the wall there. That does cost us about 500 damage, but we're almost reloaded again, and we're just going to keep on circling him like this. All we need to do is put in probably 2 more clips. We wait a little bit on that first shot to make sure that it goes into his rear, and then we continue circling him, making sure to pen all of our shots. We ammo rack him, and at this point the game is over. There's nothing that he can do. Perhaps if he had scraped us off onto the building and made us bounce a shot or two, he could have pulled this one out, but with 2 shots left in the clip, him ammo rack, and being a one-shot, we go for one into his lower plate. Sadly, it's completely red. The batchat does have very low penetration, but we just get to his side and put one in, ending the game with 6.1 thousand damage in a ratings battle. Ratings battles tend to be considerably slower and occasionally have better players. It's less about the skill of the players and more about the balance of the teams. If you're on one team as a Unicum, it's fairly likely that there's going to be a Unicum somewhere on the other team. This game simply didn't have that, and because of that we were able to capitalize and almost actually get 7 kills. We got 5 kills, 6k damage in the batchat. It's a very, very nice result. Not extremely easy to get, especially in this meta. Now, in the second game, we're going to show how the batchat's camo and its maneuverability can be used extremely effectively to not only counter, but eliminate isolated tanks on the enemy team. Now, to start out this match, we're going to play directly to the mid to see what we can spot early on. And then, depending on that, we can react to where we want to rotate on the map, either down onto the beach or up on the right side of the hill. They don't have any Sheridans, which does allow us to pretty comfortably peek up this middle ridge. The only guy that we really have to worry about to do this is the Leopard, and as we see, he's not here. We do need to watch out for the Ag. The most important thing to notice here is the AMX 120 that just went down onto the beach. Completely alone. We spotted the Leopard, so the Leopard's not with him. And so we're going to ask our team for help, specifically the 704, and then we're just going to drive down onto the beach behind this bush, and we're just going to wait. We don't spot him there. That's the 704. We had the little ridgeline of the sand right there to block it. And so we're going to stay in this bush, and we're just going to wait. And then we're going to put in a shot. We already have the reload on him, so we can clip him out pretty comfortably. We pull forward, he misses, we have the reload again. And so we're going to get 3 shots into the AMX 5120, and the 704 is going to put one in. And then all we need to do is run around this hill. And we're almost reloaded, so we're going to try and clip him out again. We put 1 shot in, and then the 704 finishes him. We're immediately going to go for the reload. And that is how the batchat can be used to outplay isolated enemies and clip out people that are either alone or at low HP. So now you might be asking, but Kade, why are you doing the exact same thing that he just did? No, there's a reason for that. This FV is at 700 HP, and so we're going to try to go up here and clip him out. We get extremely unlucky and shoot under his tank and ricochet off the bottom of his tank. We do go for the track on the 183, keeping him from following us. The Waffle HEs us for 1,000, and this is a very dangerous situation. Luckily, the FV had already fired and was reloading, and we barely got away there. You can see right there, the 183 fired. Had we not run away as quickly or not gotten that track off, it could have changed very drastically. We're already reloaded now, so we're going to put shots into the rear of the E5. The Waffle's going to try and shoot us again. We're going to set the Waffle on fire and then finish him off again with another shot. That's 800 for about 600. That's a reasonable trade. Of course, we did get lucky with the fire, but at this point, the game's over. Our plays, both going down into the beach to kill the AMX 5120 and rotating back to distract both of their tank destroyers and essentially killing one and severely crippling the other, allowed the team to push over the middle of the map and win the match. Now, while this isn't a very high damage game, it does show what you need to be doing in the batchat and how you can play with your teammates to win rating battles extremely comfortably. That game would have been potentially a loss had we allowed that AMX to continue pushing on the beach and clip out our 704. And while the 704 wasn't a bad player, he wasn't an excessively good player either. Same with the 5120. Both reasonably solid players that we saved and eliminated very early in the match, which allowed us to contribute heavily to the result of this game. This third battle is on Canyon, and Canyon is a very interesting map, to say the least. In the batchat, you don't have much gun depression, but you're also a light tank. And so there's the option of going to the mid, which you can play. However, your lack of armor is likely to get you a lot of damage very early on in the match. And so because of that, in the batchat, I tend to enjoy going to this position. Now, this position is very, very rarely used in pub matches, but it can be used in competitive. Now, we set up here, and we're looking at the T92E1. We don't want to fire just yet, because he is a light tank, and he does have the potential to spot us. Especially with all of our team going to the other side of the map. This is a very, very difficult position to play because you have to manage shooting with being spotted, and also any enemies that might be pushing up from their side of the map. We managed to light the waffle on fire, which is massive. That's going to help us reach our damage, and also just grind down tanks on the other side of the map. Finally, one of the tanks on our team decides to take the mid, which is very, very nice. It's a 54, which allows him to play hull down on that position. And it seems that he is also looking underneath. He does spot an FV-183 that's going to pressure. We're going to put one shot into the T-92, and right there we got spotted, and so we need to move. There's the potential for tank destroyers from the other side of the map to be looking at us right now. Now right here, we notice the FV is going left and the T-92 is going right. And so since we're reloaded and the T-92 is quite low on HP, we can rush him, we can ram him, and then we can clip him out with our remaining 2 shells. He misses his shot. We do take a hit from the FV-183, sadly, but we're just going to push on him. We have reload, and so we're going to try and clip him out before he has the opportunity to reload. We get one shot in. We do make sure to shoot his tracks so that he can't traverse his gun quite enough, because the gun depression on this tank would not allow us to drive much further up the hill. Now at this point he is certainly reloaded, so we can't push him. Once we reload, we can look for a shot. We do almost get one, but it hits a spot on his turret that we cannot pen, and it does not go through. We still have 2 shots in our clip though, which allows us a little bit of wiggle room, and it's very difficult for him to push us if we do fire, so we can shoot at least one more shell and still be comfortable. We also could go for a reload, and he would assume that we still have ammo loaded. Clippers in this game are very interesting, and they allow for a lot of different counterplays, especially against tanks like tank destroyers that can't really pressure you nearly as much as they should. Now, we baited the 183, and we came back onto the same position. We were going to go further around and potentially drop down behind him, but that was not the case, as he just decided to drive straight up, and we were able to get a shot into his lower plate, ending his game and finishing the match. It's another win with 4,000 damage. Top of the team. The guy that we did outplay was a very, very strong player, 61%er. He did get quite unlucky with where our team went, which allowed him to be caught out in the bottom near the river. He did push and eliminate our T-54. A reasonable player. Not horrible, not amazing. But our play against especially this T-92 and separating the 183 from him and being able to eliminate him early definitely saved our life in that game. Our final game takes place on Fort Despair. And looking at the team list, it's pretty balanced. However, we don't have many tanks that can really take corner effectively, while them having a 121B, which is very strong hull down, and would be difficult for us to pressure if we were to go corner. And so because of that, looking at their team lineup, playing at the mid, near the encounter, and potentially fighting the T-92 could be more beneficial, or at least getting early spots there, and then rotating out to maybe snipe, or go through the heavy side of the map, depending on what's there. And so, based on that, we're going to execute our plan. We're going to pull up, T-92 is going to miss his missile. Missiles are interesting, and as I've managed to actually play with the T-92, not quite the Sheridan yet, but the T-92 has a very, very difficult time of hitting tanks that are actually too close to it. And because of that, if you hug very, very close to a ridgeline that a T-92 is on the opposite side of, it's very difficult for the T-92 to actually be able to hit you. And so here we've rotated back, and we're going to potentially look at shots on the 212, or after seeing that he was pulling back, we're going to rotate towards the heavy side, spotting the mouse through the bush, but he doesn't light us, so we're going to pull forward, put a shot into him, we get a high roll. E5, if he did pull forward, we were going to try and put a shot into him, but because he stopped, we went for a reload, and now we don't want to get into a brawl with a mouse in E5. That is very dangerous for us. We're going to disengage and pull back and look for more sniping shots on these guys as they try and farm our teammates in the middle of the map. And so, we're waiting, and the E5 turns enough to where we're able to get a shot in. He does not pull forward. Luckily, we do get spotted. We almost get a shot, then we do. We ammo wreck him, and then we go for a reload. We're waiting to see what the mouse does. The mouse also turns around and is also going to drive towards our E100 friend. He is looking at us, so we're going to be careful not to get spotted, and then we're going to push up from behind him. So this mouse gets shot once, twice, and then a third time, bringing him down to a one shot for us. We're going to finish him off, and then we're going to track the E5 and simply finish him off with our clip. Now, there's 4 players on the enemy team, and right now, our target is the T-92. We see him isolated, we can push him, we can ram him, and if one teammate gets one extra shot into him, we can kill him extremely easily. So, we're going to get the first shot in. He tries to HE us, but he doesn't actually pen, possibly hitting our gun, or maybe our upper plate. Most likely our gun, because our gun was in fact damaged after that. And then we're going to pull up right here to where we can spot all of these tank destroyers while we reload, and go around the corner to clip them out. Finishing the game with only 3k damage, but showing the rotational power and the ability of the batchat to spot without being spotted, and the sheer pushing power of the clip in 900 alpha that allows the tank to work very, very well if it's played slower and in a more passive way that allows you to farm off of your teammates as they die, and also take advantage of low HP enemies and eliminate them from the game very early. Thank you all for watching this episode of Kade Talks Tanks, and I will see you all next time.